So here's the problem with so many crypto mining machines and crypto nodes. They are expensive. In fact, some crypto mining machines cost over $10,000 each. Well, what if you could buy just a little slice of a machine or a node? Now, before you stop me, yeah, buying a portion of a machine or a node is not new.
Another one.
In fact, there have been lots of fractionalized mining projects in the past, and many of them have failed. So why is what I'm talking about in this video different? Well, a lot of things. But the biggest is that their machines are hosted with a company that has been around in this space for 4+ years now and is my go-to machine hosting company. What I'm talking about in this video is called the Node Factory. I actually talked about them 9 months ago, and since then they have continued to build and expand. But in case you're short on time and don't want to watch that video, here's a quick recap of what they're all about. Instead of shelling out thousands of dollars to buy an entire ASIC miner yourself or setting up a full crypto node on your own, the Node Factory lets you buy smaller shares of nodes or miners. And when you buy a share of a miner with the Node Factory, you are not just entitled to a share of its rewards, but you also own part of the miner itself. That means you're buying a piece of a physical mining unit, and this is a very big distinction, and I'll explain why in just a bit. Instead of paying expensive electric bills or babysitting your hardware, you're basically hands off. You buy in, the Node Factory takes care of everything else. They make their money by charging a small fee out of rewards and on the overall machine cost for the ASICs. You could buy a machine yourself for a bit less than all the shares added together through the Node Factory, but the trade-off for paying that premium with the Node Factory is this hands-off service they offer. The Node Factory purchases and hosts their crypto mining machines with my friends over at Musk Miners. Their nodes are hosted with my friends over at Node Orbit, and I've been using both Musk Miners and Node Orbit to host my own miners and nodes for a very long time now, and I've had a fantastic experience so far with both. Okay, let's talk about who is behind the Node Factory. Well, if you go to their website, you can see the photos and names and the LinkedIn profiles of the team on their About Us page. But at the very beginning, the Node Factory was started by Rob and Lidio. In fact, Rob retired from his day job because of the passive income strategy he learned in my premium crypto membership, Sleep Money Club, and he had successfully replaced his full-time salary. And as always, there's a link to the club down below. And based off this success, Rob and Lidio wanted a way to make all of this passive income stuff more accessible, and boom, the Node Factory was born. And you might already know Lidio. He has a YouTube channel called Crypto Jar. And of course, there are a bunch of other people behind the scenes you can check out on that page. But now that you know who's behind it, let's break down exactly how the Node Factory works. The process of buying a share of a node or miner is pretty straightforward. You go to their website and choose either the node or the miner section. There's no minimum or maximum amount for purchasing the nodes. For ASICs, the exact price per share will be displayed next to each miner. And once you find a miner or node that you like, you can purchase the shares either with PayPal or by using crypto. For nodes, if you choose crypto, you'll have to purchase using the project's native coin. You can buy it from the exchange of your choice and then follow the instructions on the Node Factory website. You can use something like CoinGecko to find which exchanges any particular coin is listed on. If you want to buy an ASIC share using crypto, you'll need USDT on the Tron network. In fact, let me go ahead and show you how that process works because I'm going to buy a share of an Ice River AE0 to mine Alio, something that I'm not currently mining yet. The first step is to create an account on the Node Factory website, or if you already have an account, to be logged in. Next, if you don't already have money in the crypto world, you'll need to use an on-ramp like Coinbase or Binance or whichever on-ramp is your favorite to use. In my case, I already have some money on the MEXC exchange, so I'll use that. Then on the Node Factory ASIC page, you'll scroll down to the Buying a Share with Crypto section and copy their USDT TRC20 address. That's USDT on the Tron network. Then paste that into the withdrawal section on the exchange. Make sure it's USDT again. You have to make sure that the Tron network is selected. Make sure that the exact amount after fees matches the Node Factory site. In this case, I need to withdraw 260 so that after the $1 fee, I'm sending the Node Factory $259, which is the price of that share. Then I just confirm the details and withdraw. Once you've sent the money, go back to the Node Factory page where you were on and click the submit button next to that address, and then fill out that form and submit. On the form where it asks for the additional information, or it might say your wallet address now. By the time you're watching this, you can put the wallet address you want to get your payouts on. Just make sure it's a wallet address for the actual crypto you'll be earning. In my case, it needs to be my Alio wallet address. Then after a while, you should see your shares on the Node Factory dashboard. And if you don't, you can just reach out to their email address support. And then after that, the Node Factory takes over all operational tasks. They get the machines and the nodes deployed. They handle getting the rewards sent over to you when you request them, etc. And these rewards you're going to get paid come directly as a percentage of the machine's earnings. You pay a 10% fee on the rewards you earn. This is how the Node Factory makes money. If you're a Sleep Money Club member, that fee is reduced to 8%. And legendary ZZZ members go even further by getting a discounted rate of just 6% on their ASIC or node rewards. And again, there's a link down below to join Sleep Money Club. You can request reward payouts at any time through the dashboard. They will be processed within 1 business day with no additional fees. Something to keep in mind is that the Node Factory does have its own Discord channel in Sleep Money Club where you can chat with the team. However, you do not have to be a member of the club in order to buy shares with them. Being a member just means that you get that great discount plus other perks like chatting with the team directly and quickly. Now let's dig deeper into what they offer. Again, the Node Factory offers both node and ASIC shares. They offer quite a few nodes. I think ones like Tempe, when they are back in stock, Ethereum, Beam, and maybe Subsquid are interesting choices. Now, many of the ones with the really high APYs aren't super interesting to me since I'm not completely convinced on the usefulness of those projects, and others like Neoxa haven't performed very well, even though I still do like the project. Buying a share of a node that costs $200 in total doesn't make a ton of sense to me, but maybe you'll feel differently. One node related thing that I am looking forward to is that the Node Factory is likely to be one of Tempe's partners for their upcoming node sale, so stay tuned for that. And if there is a project that you wish they would offer but don't currently, well then just contact them and they'll consider it. I think it's pretty cool that they are open to feedback. Many of the current nodes and ASICs were user requested. As for their crypto mining machine offerings, they have several, although I'll say right at the outset, one complaint I have with how this info is presented is that the current revenue isn't right in front of you per share. You need to look up each machine, see what it earns, and then calculate the single share earning for yourself. Hopefully this will change in the future, but it's really not that big of a deal and it's not that hard to do that calculation, and it's probably good for you to research it anyway. Right now they offer Dogecoin mining with the Bitmain L9, Bitcoin mining with the Bitmain S21 XP 270 terahash, Alio mining with the Goldshell AE Box 2 or the Ice River AE0, which I just bought a share of, and Kaspa mining with the Ice River KS7, and there's more machines coming soon. Some of their most profitable machines right now are the Alio miners. The Goldshell AE Box 2 mining Alio is currently making $16 a month per share in profits, according to Mining Now. You can also do what I did and buy shares of Ice River Alio AE0, which has 5 shares available per machine, and each of those shares would give you about $34 a month right now. A share of the Bitmain L9 mining Dogecoin would get you around $9 a month per share in profits right now. The Bitcoin machine and Kaspa shares are even less profitable than those right now, but that will change the moment the price of Bitcoin and Kaspa change, both down and up. Personally, I'm expecting much higher prices in the near future, but we will have to wait and see. I'm personally still bullish on both Bitcoin and Kaspa mining. Another important thing to talk about here is security. No matter how passive your income is, you want your assets protected. The Node Factory emphasizes security on several layers, from restricted access to off-site backups and NDAs for those who do handle the private details behind the scenes. Now, this is no guarantee that things will be protected or that nothing will happen. A downside I will cover in a bit, but it is reassuring to have the team go the extra mile to try to mitigate as many risks as they can. The only catch here is that this isn't something they reveal in too much detail, and this is mainly to avoid showing their hand to potential attackers. So if you want the nitty-gritty details on their security, you won't get that, which it seems like is by design. Aside from security, another feature that you can get is access to referrals with the Node Factory. When someone registers at the Node Factory with your referral code, you get a little kickback from their rewards.
I'm not even mad. That's amazing.
Now, this video was not sponsored, but I do have a referral link down below if you want to use it and support the channel. Another big question is, can you get your money back that you buy nodes or ASICs with? The short answer is,
Yeah, boy.
yes, you can exit at any point. All you have to do is submit the withdrawal form from your dashboard. If enough node share owners want to exit, or if it makes sense for the project, the Node Factory team will then take down that node. It will then liquidate the underlying coins and return investors' money. There is no set lockup period. You aren't bound by a contract that forces you to ride out the node's entire lifespan. Naturally though, timing can vary a bit. If the project is mid-cycle or if it takes some extra time to shut down the node properly, it's not always an instant exit. For ASIC shares, keep in mind that you actually own a part of the physical miner. That means if you or enough other shareholders want to exit, the node factory will arrange to sell the hardware and distribute the proceeds according to each share each person owns. And remember, it might take some time to find a buyer or coordinate the sale of each machine. One thing that's very nice about all this is that there are no fees when you sell a share. It's also really important to note that one thing that makes the Node Factory's ASIC offering so unique is that you're not just purchasing the mining rewards. You have real ownership of the hardware itself. Okay, now let's talk about the risks and downsides of all this stuff. One of the biggest risks is what happens with each project that you buy a node or ASIC share of. Right now, the markets kind of suck. Maybe you noticed. So profitability is down across the board. And many of these projects that the Node Factory offers, or just crypto projects in general, could never recover. Or they all could.
I don't know. I simply don't know. You can speculate, but
I have no idea what happens next. But regardless, there is always the risk that if you buy a node or an ASIC share, the price only goes down and you never get your money back. And that's not a Node Factory specific risk, that's just a normal crypto risk. Caspa ASICs are a great example. Once upon a time, they were earning like the Alio machines are right now, but they've only gotten less and less profitable. If Caspa goes to 50 cents or $1 or more in this bull run, which is hopefully still gonna happen, well, then they will be very, very profitable again. But if that doesn't happen, well, then you're out of luck. And it's not just market prices, network difficulty can also affect the profitability. The Node Factory is doing a lot to try to stay on top of the best opportunities they find, so that's another big thing going for them. But for the machines themselves, they can experience failures, either small ones like dead fans or major ones like hashboard failures. The Node Factory's collaboration with Musk Miners is designed to minimize downtime and repair costs, but it can still happen. Again, Musk Miners has been around for 4+ years now, so that gives me a lot of confidence in the operation and maintenance of these machines. While the Node Factory uses excellent security practices to ensure that your investment is safe, the crypto world is always a tempting target for hackers. There are no guarantees. The last downside or critique I'll give here is that the overall web experience with the Node Factory is still very much a work in progress. They recently did a site redesign and it's a massive improvement over the old one. However, it's still clunky in places and I wish there was more info in a few spots that I noted earlier in this video. What we're talking about here is definitely a startup, but I'm confident that they'll keep working at the kinks over time. I really like the folks behind the Node Factory a lot, and they've chosen great partners like Musk Miners and Node Orbit, and that's been one of the problems with a lot of the fractionalized mining projects out there. They tried to start their entire own infrastructure and mining business from the ground up, sometimes without any experience to do so. And that's easy to see in hindsight, but at the time it didn't look so clear and transparent. But someone like Musk Miners, who's been in this business for a while, has established infrastructure, has been doing business with lots of satisfied customers, that fills me with way more confidence in something like this. I also love the idea of buying shares of nodes and miners, so I'm definitely excited about what they are doing and think it's worth a consideration given the opportunity. So buying shares of a crypto miner could be a great way to build your passive income portfolio, but what if you don't have any funds handy? Well, in this video, I collected 15 different ways you can earn crypto for free, ways that could earn you some extra pocket money to upwards of potential thousands of dollars. So go check that out. Goodbye.